Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to use the GitHub Enterprise Importer to migrate an organization from our GitHub Enterprise server. I'm going to use this OCP dude organization, and we're going to move this entire org and all the repos and artifacts in that organization to GitHub Enterprise Cloud. Now, this is an EMU instance. If you're not familiar with EMU and you're curious about it, I'll put a link down below. Essentially what it is enterprise managed users, and it provides a namespace or walled garden so that you can manage the users and user accounts in your environment, and also has a lot of security plugged into it. So you can still have a SaaS-based model, but provide the enterprise level security that you're probably looking for. All this means is we're moving from server to cloud. So it doesn't matter if it's EMU or regular cloud, we can still migrate these orgs from one instance to another. It could be cloud to cloud EMU or server to cloud EMU or to cloud. All right, so it allows us to migrate these organizations and all the artifacts and repos within them. And that's what we're going to demonstrate today. All right, so let's get to it. A couple of things we need to know is when we're doing a server instance, we'll need a storage account on Azure as the intermediary S3 connection between our server instance and our cloud instance. Essentially what happens is it takes all the artifacts from our GitHub Enterprise server, copies them into S3, and then transfers them from S3 to our cloud instance. All right, so just keep that in mind. Going from server to cloud will require the Azure Storage Account for that. If you're going cloud to cloud, then you don't have to worry about this step. All right, so I've already provisioned that storage account, good to go there. We're also going to need our GitHub Enterprise Importer CLI, not to be confused with GitHub Importer. This is GitHub Enterprise Importer CLI, and I'll leave this link down below as well. Essentially, it's a plugin module for the GitHub CLI, so this will talk about installing that module and then all the steps necessary to deploying and configuring and generating the script necessary for doing that migration. One other tool we're going to need besides the GHCLI and the GEI module for our CLI is this leverages Powershell. So I'm on a Mac and I've already installed the Powershell application for the Mac, so I'll be able to run that Powershell script. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the actual procedure of doing this migration. A couple things we're going to need is I need my admin account that can control both the source and the destination repos. So here we're on our source side. I want to go in and create a personal access token. So we'll do that. We'll go down here to developer settings and we create a personal access token. We'll generate a new token here, call it migration. I won't need it very long, let's say 7 days. We'll need access to workflow and admin org. This will automatically select all the repo stuff there. Once that's done, just generate my token. And I'll copy this off. I'm going to put this temporarily in a notepad off screen. All right, so now we've got that. And now on our destination side, we need to create our organization. This is, again, EMU, so I'm going to have one additional step, but I'll try to make that apparent. But we need to create a destination organization. All right, so let's go to Enterprise, Settings, Organization, New Org, and then here we'll just say OCP dude, target. Like that, so we'll create the org. All right, once that's done, we'll click finish. And now same thing again, this is an enterprise user. So we need to go to our user settings, go to create a pat, and we'll create a new token. Same thing, I won't need it very long, so 7 days. Workflow, org admin, repo is already selected. Generate that token. I'm going to copy that off screen. There we go. And then one additional step, because it's EMU, I need to configure it for SSO. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to authorize it for our target organization here. There we go. All right, so this has been authenticated. All right, so now we can go ahead and drop to our CLI. I'm in this empty directory here, so we can go ahead and use this to generate all of our files. I've already installed the GitHub CLI. I've already installed Powershell, and I've installed the GitHub Enterprise Importer module. So now we just need to create our source and destination environment variables. So we'll export GitHub pat, and this is for our source side. So let me grab that. Oh wait, no, this is for our destination side. Yeah, destination. I'm going to put this around quotes like that. And now we can export our source pat. So it's gh source pat equals, and then this is our source personal access token. Copy that over. Okay, clear. We have those stored in our environment variables. Now let's go ahead and configure our migration. Now, because I'm going from server to cloud, I also have to put in my API URL, and because I'm using self-signed search in my environment, I'm going to turn off verification of SSL. So you'll see that here. It's completely optional, again, environment depending. All right, so we're going to do GH, and I've already logged into my CLI. So if you haven't done this step, it's going to prompt for it. Essentially, you'll just use CLI auth login, and then it'll prompt you for logging into your environment. And I've already logged into my destination over here. All right, it just needs, in order to use the GitHub CLI, you have to log in. All right, so GitHub GEI, generate. We're going to generate our script. Generate, if I can spell, script. All right, and then here we're going to do GitHub source org, and that was OCP dude over here. We'll come back to this just to show you organizations, OCP dude. So it's that one. And then GitHub target org, and that would be this one on this side, which is OCP dude dash target. All right, and then we're going to say no SSL verify. Put in our API for our server. Azure storage string. Storage connection string, sorry. And for the connection string, we want to jump back over to Azure, go into our storage account, under access keys, look for connection string right here, and click show. And you can copy it, but I'm going to copy this manually because for some reason Safari doesn't like this little clipboard on Azure. And then we'll paste that in, and we won't paste that in. Let's try that again. I'm going to copy this. All right, and then paste. There we go. And then end quote. So make sure I got quotations. Yep, all that looks good. And then I want to go ahead and output to a file. So output, migration PS1, because again, it's a PowerShell script that we're going to end up running. So let's go ahead and execute that. All right, so that's done. Come back here. All right, so now we should have a script in here. Sure enough, right there it is. Let's take a look at it. Under this migration script, if we scroll down, you'll see all the repos that are included. So if you wanted to not include a repo, now is a good time just to go in and delete that repo if you just wanted to skip that one and not do all of the migration. Here we've got 4 repos. Let's see, this one is Bookstore 2, this one's Dependabot 18, this one is Minecraft, and then this one here is reusable. Okay, so that's good there. All right. I'm not going to make any changes there, but you can see what I was talking about. If you wanted to not do a particular repo, you could do that. Okay, so now we've got that done. Let's chmod our migration script. There we go. All right, so when it executes, again, it's going to copy everything from our OCP dude organization over to that Azure storage, and then it's going to copy it from Azure storage to our organization over here. All right, so let's go ahead and get that kicked off. It shouldn't take too long. There we go. So job's been started. And then we'll just give it a minute. Let's come over here. We'll just refresh. Just refresh here. All right, nothing's been transferred yet. All right, but it's moving along. We can see that right here. It's also going to export the logs, so we'll get all the logs in case something happens. You can see it's using the Azure Storage blob, part of the migration. Refresh this page. Now we can see our repos starting to come in. All right, let's just give this a few minutes and then we'll come back and inspect things. Okay, it looks like we're done. We can see that we've got 4 successful migrations, 0 failed migrations. So let's take a look at our environment here. If we just refresh this window again, we should see 4 repositories. Sure enough. All right, let's go into the source here. We'll see that there's 4 repos here. And yeah, notice the status is all the same. All right, but let's take a look at the Minecraft directory. And we go in here and we can see that we've got, some things have transferred, right? So I've got my issues. So there's a couple of issues here. I've got pull requests. There's 17 closed pull requests. So all those transferred as well. So if we take a look at this for a comparison, we'll see that there's only 1 issue because this one here actually also should include a migration log right there. Right? And then we've got our pull requests, 17 closed, 17 closed. We've got all of our action workflows. If we look at actions here, we'll see all the workflows, but this also includes the workflow history on our source, not our destination. That's because they haven't actually run. The actions have not run from our destination, so that workflow history won't exist because that shouldn't transfer from this environment to this environment anyway. But they haven't run here, so that's why we're not seeing any history. But the workflow is all transferred. And then under projects, here, if we take a look at this, we'll see that we have 1 project, and this project is on servers referred to as classic, and that's why it's placed under here, right there. So we've got this test project that's under classic. Cloud now has a new way to look at projects, so that's here. And then there's nothing in Wiki or anything, none of that's signed up, but I should also point out another thing. Like if we take a look at environments, we can see that we've got some environment settings. If we look at settings here on environments, those haven't been set, so you'll need to create those environments yourself. Same thing for secrets. If you're storing secrets, like for your actions, that's a bad example. Let's go back to our org level, take a look at it that way, and we'll look at secrets here at the organization level, because I think that's how I have them provisioned. Yep, so we got secrets that are stored here at the org level, and if I look at this org level, let's see, secrets, actions, there's no secrets here. So everything for the repos transferred, but things you do have to put in manually still is the secrets and any environment variables for your workflows. So keep that in mind, you'll have to do that. Oh, one other thing, assignment of users. That's kind of a big deal. If we take a look at our repo again, Minecraft over here, and we'll just pull up this README file. We can see that this is owned by GitAdmin, all right, and everything looks good. If we take a look at this side, we'll go into Minecraft, and we look at the README file here, you'll see that it says GitHub Administrator, because that's who this, the name GitAdmin is actually this. But you can see the icon here looks like this pale version of Octocat, and this is a mannequin. It tells you that there's a mannequin assigned to this. So you can still use this repo, but there's no ownership for this user. Okay, so we need to correct that. And if we go into our org again, and let's go to settings, import export, we'll have our mannequins, right? So here we can see that it says anytime I see, get admin user, who should I reattribute that to? And if I have shaker, anytime I see shaker, who should I reattribute that to? So let's start with kind of like this, and we could just say, well, that is anytime you see shaker, attribute that to shaker underscore pitboy. Underscore pitboy is because this is an EMU account, all right? But if you're going cloud to cloud, then you would just reattribute it to a user for that, and we'll just invite that user. All right, so now they'll get a notification to accept the invitation. They accept the invitation, and then this user will be reattributed to this user. Okay, so this user on the source to that user in the target. Now this is great if you just have a few users, but what if you had hundreds or thousands of users? Well, in that case, what you're going to want to do is generate a Mannequin file. And in order to generate a Mannequin file, we'll just use the GEI export tool, and we'll export everything into a CSV that we can then upload. All right, so let me clear this screen, and we'll just do GHEI for GitHub Enterprise Importer, pardon me, and then we'll generate Mannequin CSV. Yeah, looks right. Is that output? No, I gotta do my GitHub target first. GitHub target org. So now it's looking at this organization because it's going to grab all the mannequins. The same here. It's grabbing this and putting them in a CSV file for us. And it's a OCP dude. Oh, what was that? Target. All right, and then output Mannequin CSV, and we'll export that, and it should create a Mannequin file for us. It found 3 mannequins. All right, and then we can just do clear, and let's edit that file. So here's our Mannequin file. And delete Dependabot, that doesn't matter. And then here we'll just say shaker 242, oh, sorry, shaker underscore pitboy. And then if I had another user to attribute, and there's, I don't think let's see if I have any other users over here. I'm not sure. This is just a test environment that I've been playing around with, so I'm not sure if how many users I have in it. Settings, and then people, and we can grab one of these people, say Grady A. Pipboy, like that, and we can save that file out. So you'd get an entire list, and then you could take that Mannequin file and then edit them so that you can, oops, sorry about that, reattribute your users to users in your EMU environment or your cloud environment, because the accounts could very possibly be different. Okay, so then once that's done, you'll just do a reclaim. So GEI, reclaim Mannequin. GitHub target org OCP dude target. Probably should have named that org something else. And then we're going to use the CSV Mannequin CSV like that. And then when we execute that, it's going to go up and it's going to say, okay, well, it's reclaimed. This is target must be a member of, okay, well, it's not, like I said, it's just a test environment, so it's not a member. But this has successfully reclaimed. So now we can go under our user here, settings for our org, import, export, and then we'd see that this user has been invited a second time because I did it manually in the UI, and then I did it a second time through the script. All right, and then you would have all the users listed here that actually didn't fail. This one did fail because it's not a member, but I think you get the idea, right? So you can do it through the UI or through the CSV file. And again, if you got a lot of users, it's probably a lot easier to do it off the CVE file. All right, so that's the demo of GitHub Enterprise Importer. Again, the steps here is grab the GH CLI, grab the GEI module plugin for it, which is in here. You want PowerShell because the script is going to run from PowerShell. You want to create a source and destination token. You need to create your destination organization. And if you're using EMU, then you need to authorize that organization for your token. And then at that point, again, going from server to cloud, you would also need a Azure S3 or the storage account for S3 so that it can have that storage available for a middle step to get that migration. Again, going from something like cloud to cloud EMU, or a cloud version to another cloud version, it's not, you don't have to worry about that storage step. It's just for going from server to cloud. All right, that gets us all migrated. Once we're all migrated over, we just need to go back, verify that the secrets environment variables are set correctly, and we can attribute the users correctly for our environment, and then begin testing. If you also wanted to not do the entire organization, but you just wanted to do a repo, just go into that script and remove all the repos that you don't want to migrate, and you're good to go. Well, that's all I got. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.